Is this 18? Yeah. I'm sorry. Let me just look at 18 first. Make the screen bigger. Can you see it? Is that too big?
Uh-uh.
Okay.
That's 18. What's
Mm-hmm.
19?
Yeah. This is how they prefer to share and teach, and this is how they want to receive the knowledge.
Okay.
Okay. You want to go to 19 too?
Yeah. What's to avoid? Okay.
You ready?
I guess. Is it Azaria?
Azariah.
Azariah. I'm reading that all wrong. Okay. Who ringing?
This is Joey. You calling me?
Okay. I'm calling you. Okay.
Mhm.
He jumped right in. Who ringing? It's Joey. Hello.
I gotta make sure I say the name right.
Oh no,
No, just call
you
him
can go
Joe.
by my name.
Go
You
by
can just
yeah.
go by
Use
Oh,
my
his
go
name.
name.
by Joe.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Just call him Joe.
All right. Ring, ring.
Hey, how's it going?
How are you today?
Oh man, I had a great start to my day. I just drank some coffee and I'm on the road.
All right. What you got planned for the day?
I'm going to be spending time with family, and I had a friend come down from the Air Force, and I guess he wants to spend some time and hang out. We might go party.
Okay. Okay. That's what's up.
Mhm.
So I just wanted to take the time out to thank you for allowing me to analyze, and this is a behavioral based assessment. So I just wanted to give you a quick overview of what it is reading and see if that meets or if you agree with what's in the assessment. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
All right. So, what exactly do you hope to get from this assessment?
I just want to get a more of a balance with myself. Sometimes I feel like I could be all over the place, and I feel like this could be a great opportunity so I can be able to just not so better yet understand myself and kind of just calm myself a little bit when I'm around a lot of people because I feel like I'm everywhere.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And do you find yourself just being more pleasing to them or in jumping in where they are and you're not
Uh,
really
Not necessarily pleasing them, I guess. More so, I feel like I'm a person who's just uh, I I feel like I give too much energy sometimes to where I think I want to be able to just slow it down a little bit. And I feel like you could be able to help me with that, just to better understand myself and my weaknesses.
okay.
Mhm.
And are you going to use that just for personal relationships or with your job?
Oh yes, personal relationships. I think it could definitely help me. Actually with my career.
And what exactly do you do?
Um, I do a lot of graphic work. I'm an artist, but
Okay.
I think I'm all over the place though. So like I got so many different ideas, and I feel like I could be a life coach. I could be a dating coach. A pickup artist.
Okay. So you have a lot of gifts and talents,
Mm-hmm.
but you're just trying to figure out which ones you need to basically focus on.
Oh yes.
Okay. And what are there any goals that stick out more than others? Maybe about three.
Yeah. Um, I think right now, coaching is. I like modeling too. Sometimes I like to post a lot of pictures just to show, I'm alive and people can see that I'm still out here.
Mhm.
But
Okay.
mm,
And then what about with your job? Is that
I kind
a
of use
talent
my
that you
job
want to
as a
expand on, or is
no,
that just
not
something?
necessarily, not necessarily. I use it as a tool. Uh, I'm one of those people where I use that just to get me to where I need to be right now. I meant to get me to somewhere in the future. Right now, that's just temporary.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All righty. And what challenges do you think, outside of feeling all over the place, are there um, anything in particular that's hindering you from your performance or staying on task?
Mm, I do believe it has a lot to do with my abilities just to, I guess you could say, sit still. I like being everywhere and like my face being shown wherever I'm at.
Okay. And is that more, do you think that's more so looking at your future, or just um, trying to build a legacy, money?
Yeah, I guess you can say that. I guess you could say that definitely. Um, I do want to build a legacy, but I feel like right now it's like, I'd rather, live right now than, later. I'm
Right.
more
And how old are you?
27.
Okay. Okay. So we're going to take a look at your assessment, the results.
Mm.
And so I won't go over the full assessment today, but we just want to get to what we would call your superpower,
Okay.
just to start with. Can you scroll? Or am I missing something?
You ain't told me where to go.
Oh, I'm thinking I'm
I
okay.
ain't doing it automatic. You
I'm
gotta.
sorry. Go to page 2.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So with the assessment, did you get a chance to review it yourself, or did you have any background on it? Did you
Oh
read
yes,
anything on it?
yes. I do see that. I think it says I'm a high I, right? What does that mean?
So with uh, with and high I,
Mm-hmm.
you're more so go to page 5, I think. So that you tend to it's how you interact with others and
Okay.
share your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So you're more so I don't want to say individualized, but you're like pretty unique in what you do and
Mm-hmm.
how you do it. You're high in energy. You like being at the forefront.
Mm-hmm.
And when we're looking at your results, you were a 99. So
Oh,
that's going to basically fall between inspiring, persuasive, and enthusiastic.
okay.
And so, how do you feel about those three words?
Um, I feel like I'm high energy, especially at work. A lot of people, they love talking to me. I do feel like I am one of those people that kind of a lot of people gravitate to me by my energy. So
Okay.
I could definitely see the inspiring and persuasive. Sometimes I can persuade others to, actually live out their dreams and do the things that I do, because I feel like I can lead by an example. I really just do a lot of stuff.
Okay. And do you have any like leading roles right now at work or no?
I wouldn't necessarily call it a leading role. I drive a stand up. And I guess I just, wherever I'm driving, I go talk to anybody I can and just try to uplift them in any way. If I can make them laugh, or, if I see them having a bad day, I'm just one of those sort of people.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I want to go over each, just give you a little bit about what each one stands for. So with your D,
Okay.
that goes off of how you approach problems and make your decisions.
So how do I approach problems?
Yes. So going back to your page 2, you were just like at a 56.
Okay.
And let's see, your S and your C. And so with your S, page 5, that just tells you how you intend to pace things in your environment. And then for your C, your preference on, my view is all jacked up. Hold on one second. Let me move this around.
Okay.
Your preference for established protocol and standards. So how you set your standards, are you a perfectionist or do you like things in order? Or do you bend the rules a little bit?
I tend to bend the rules a little bit.
Okay. Okay. But as long as they are within reason.
A little bit, I feel like rules are meant to be broken.
True. True, true, true. Um, okay, where else am I going? Hold on. This off the record. Oh, I gotta go over the natural and adaptive. So where I'm at?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So going to page 2. So with your 99, that is your natural.
Okay.
So the natural is when you're your true self, when you're in your element, you at your potential, like you like to be the life of the party.
Mm-hmm.
When you have no distractions or nothing else to hinder you from that,
Okay.
you at the top of your game.
Okay.
And
Cool.
entertaining,
Mm-hmm.
and being inspiring and persuasive. But then you have something that just brings you down a little bit in your adaptive at a
Okay.
91, which is not a big difference at all.
Okay.
Are
What does
there
that mean?
any things that can make you kind of back off from being you per se?
What is? What do you mean by that?
So any instances like when if you have people that you don't get along with, they come in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Does that persuade you to kind of step back from being your outgoing self and, entertaining people and being out in front?
Mm,
Or you don't really let people bother you? Or
I mean, I guess, I don't know. I feel like, when I'm in a situation where I feel uncomfortable, I guess I tend to like try to get my own way sometimes, like where I try to, I guess, I don't know. I guess you could say that.
so what I'm meaning is when you are aware that you are being observed,
Oh, observe. Okay.
or when
Uh,
someone is really paying attention to you,
mm-hmm.
does that change? Does anything change um, the direction that you take things or how you react to things?
I think I can tend to like try to get my own way at times by just, I guess, just I feel like I have an idea. I feel like, that person could probably, if I just get them to do this, then maybe I can get it. I'm not sure though. I believe that.
Okay. Just a second.
Okay.
So going back to page 5,
Okay.
under the I, do any of those words, any other words identify with you?
Mm, I could say um, persuasive.
Okay. And do you know, as far as in your job, so with your graphics being that that's something that you're not per se looking to pursue for the long run,
Mm-hmm.
what is stopping? Is there anything stopping you from pursuing something that you want to do well in and exceed in, that's going to
Mm-hmm.
fulfill your purpose?
Gotcha. I think so. I think I'm one of those people that I tend to sometimes find myself needing to work on more. Uh, I'm pretty great at persuading when it comes to getting what I want, like girls and all of that stuff. But I guess when it comes to business, sometimes I'm off track, and I should probably be using that energy towards, my business and persuading people in that area.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And have you tried outside of coaching, have you tried to do any type of sales work or anything of that nature to kind of build up
I did a little
persuading
bit of
people in the
sales.
business aspect?
I don't know a lot about it, but I feel like I'm determined to do, to get where I can. I'm pretty much a person where if you, I'm determined to get what I can if I need it. Um, so if you put me wherever I can, I'll sell it. I can sell you a piece of paper. You
Okay.
know, I've always been in sales. I used to work at Finish Line, Champs. I used to do a lot of stuff. This, you know,
And how
feel
did you
like I could go
feel?
all over the place.
How did you feel in those roles?
I think I'm a people person. Like people love just talking to me. This in all aspects of just people. I find myself being able to just help them, and I see that I can highlight the things that are within them so that they can be more of who they are. Uh, I used to even work at a restaurant, and me working at a restaurant, I used to just meet random people, and random people used to just come up to me and just say, "Hey, I just enjoy like the things you said," and they pay me for it.
Okay. So that's the only thing is the pay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, and did you try to take any leadership roles in those positions or no?
Yeah, a little bit. It's either here or there. I don't have to be a leader all the time, but I guess, I'm always the person who's first, never last, because I know I'm the best.
Okay. Good thinking. Okay. And let me see. And can you go to the wordplay chart?
Mm-hmm.
That's this one, right? Wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I did that. So now I'm just putting in my pitch. We ain't got this far. Okay. Okay, I feel like I ain't done hit, like, it's something that I'm not grasping on or that I miss. What I'm missing?
Good observation. You did miss some things. You want to stop right there, or because you don't know where to go next?
Yeah, because I don't feel, I don't know. I don't
Okay.
feel like I'm telling something that, like, we looking for the aha moment for them. I haven't felt that was there. So where
Right.
did I lose it?
Darrell, you want to show her?
All right, what you were saying?
She says she feel like she missed the aha moment. Do you want to tell her, or Joe, anyone? You want to know where did she miss it at? Where did she fall off? But by the way,
Well,
you did great. You did
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
good.
I, I was gonna say it. You did way better than I did. So congratulations. I'm gonna just start off with that.
You did
Like,
better than both y'all did.
yeah, like you just like Rochelle, you made it way further than what I did. Cause like I said, I I would at least still give you, like, basically I'll pay for another session with you and Rochelle. For
Yeah.
myself, I would not do that. Just once again.
For yourself, I would not do that.
Yeah, but the only thing I could say is, to start it off with him being a high I, you didn't give him that energy that he needed. The other thing about it is,
That's
so
the thing, Darrell. A
yeah,
high eye brings their own energy. They don't
I was
need no
finna
energy
say,
from nobody.
yeah, but I'm saying, like,
He started
like,
to do it where he
yeah,
was cutting her off because he
yeah,
was so boom. And I was like, okay, he was doing it, but not really being gregarious. She should have been having to redirect you a lot more. But when you face a high eye, you're gonna see what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you were trying to do it, but you were still so much in being you. And it was like, okay, to embody that, it helps us understand who we're dealing with. The more you keep doing these, you'll see them people and you'll be like, whoa. I wish, and it just had me thinking, I did this dude from New Jersey, it was a white kid. If y'all had a saw the session, I was somebody else and it was all his energy and I was getting him to follow me. He like, yeah, man, this is so great. Oh my wow, oh my God, how do you know me? How do you know? It was off the chain. I was sitting there like, wow, this dude is a high eye. I mean, it was flat out, it was, but it was like, whoa, seeing it in living color. But Ebony, you did great. You did fantastic. You want to go ahead and finish the rail, or what did you see
yeah.
that she missed?
No, I was just gonna say the other thing I was finna say was, you was following your sheet, and then you kind of started to slip away around number 3.
Yep.
Right
Exactly.
at, like, you followed it from 1 to 2, you followed it like perfectly. But
Mm-hmm.
once you got to 3, you kind of slipped away. And then once you
Mm-hmm.
slipped away at 3, it's like you slipped away, but you caught yourself back at like 6.
Okay.
So it's
Yep.
like you had just skipped 3 and 4, and you had went. Oh yeah, you skipped 3 and 4 and went to 5 and 6.
Yep. That's
But
exactly what we saw.
yeah, I was gonna say, but other than that, even though like you slipped away a little bit, you did bring yourself back to the sheet,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like you was doing good and everything. You was like right on task, and then you just like that's when you was like, I feel I'm missing something. So I think it was like you caught yourself missing those, but you just didn't know where you fell off at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's where that the client who you're talking to, I gotta say this too. By the way, you asked perfect and enough questions. That's part of the key. Get as much information from them. I'll show you more as the more we do this, but I'll show you how to tie these questions into this is where you bring them to that aha moment. But it's based on following this script, and following it brings them to that aha moment. So he was
Mm-hmm.
giving you questions and telling you things about himself, but you weren't able to recognize the aha moment because you didn't follow with the questions. You asked a lot of questions, but there's certain questions that you're asking him in the moment of what you're explaining on his disc that makes him go, oh yeah, I do that. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? Or recognize this moment. Do you recognize it in this person? And now, and once you got that far, where you fell off was like, because that's part of the key. Do you want to move forward? How do we move forward with this knowledge and understanding of me trying to help you obtain these goals? And you missed the key role, which is explaining to them how these goals can be obtained. You did that in the beginning when you got all his information. You was asking him these questions, which were superb. How do you do this? You know, what are some of the things you want to do with it? Um, he said I'm all over the place. So that's a high I. They kind of got a lot of ideas. They all over the place. You narrowed them down. What are some of the biggest, what is one of the main interests or the top three interests, something like that you said.
Mm-hmm.
So when he gave you that, like I want to be a motivational speaker, I want to help people, be a coach. I think that's what he said.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's telling you these things and telling you these experiences. The actual aha moment, taking it back, would have been when he said he was serving people and he's talking to them and they want to pay him. Is that what, didn't you say that, Joe, that they
Mhm.
want to pay him? So it's like, okay, that already sounds like the coach, the person that will guide people. You at work doing one thing, and here it is, they want to pay you not just for the food, but they giving you a bigger tip because man, it was so nice talking to you. You follow what I'm saying? That
Mm-hmm.
was his aha moment or yours to connect the two to help him say, well, you might be needing to choose to be the coach, but I'm gonna back it up to show you where you would have led him into that. Once you ask those questions, that's established one. That's number one. In season, establishing why we on the call. You asked those questions as well as more, which gave you a lot of information on him. Then
Mm-hmm.
you went to number two. Where you missed that on number two, you didn't have me take you to page 3. Right here. After he gave you that information of all those things that he want to do, that he's capable of, wow, that's perfect. You got a lot of ideas. I'm talking now to the person. You got
Mm-hmm.
a lot of ideas, and I can show you how this DISC assessment can help you actually obtain those things, and I will guide you through it. Remember, we won't have time to go through the whole assessment, but listen, research conducted by Intermatrix shows that the most successful people share the common trait of self-awareness. I'm just trying to get you to be aware of your superpowers, and we will dive into those. They recognize the situations. They recognize the situations that will make them successful, and this makes it easy for them to find ways of achieving objectives, achieving your goals that fits their behavior style. That's what I want you to understand now. And you don't have to give the whole thing. You can, depending on the type of person you're dealing with. He's a high I, so we got to be in there quick. Hit the highlight. Self-awareness. Successful people share the common trait. Them the key words they need to be hearing. They also understand their limitations and where they are not effective, and this helps them understand where not to go or how not to be as well. They are on it. And I think what it sounds like, that's what you're finally coming to me. You're trying to be more on it. You want to be more successful. Remembering from the other homework of the where it showed the pilot thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, remembering that when we got the pilot and we have the flight attendant, the high I is very energy driven. They love compliments. They love being applauded for what they're doing. That's some other insightful things that you want to try to research, get on y'all YouTube. You can pull up the D's, pull up the I's, see more of that personality, see more of their interactions. So you notice when you're talking to them, you know who you're dealing with. So I see how, now I'm going back to the person. Man, I see how great you are. I see how attentive you are. I see how you love talking to people and you direct them. You're already doing some successful things. You got great ideas. You throwing them a few cookies. Because that, I mean, they love it, and it what everybody do to a certain degree, but they really enjoy knowing that they're doing the right things, which that also takes you back down here to page 18, just to show you where this is at. Likes self-discovery, likes active testing and ideas and experiences. This is how they prefer to receive the information. As a participant, prefers a balance between individuals and group. This is just the individual. Wants to know performance, outcomes, and objectives. Give him his performance. You are performing well. What is the outcome? See some of the results of you already talking to people, already sound like a coach. But this is your knowledge of knowing. You need to show the patience with them because they can be, constantly talking, does independent practice as well as work with others. Oh, so you work with a lot of people as well. Do you like working with people or do you like working alone? They tell you. Taking us back here to the top. So now once we hit that, you let them know, it says in the review, letting them know we still on number 2. Let them know you won't go through the whole assessment. You did hit that. It can be out of order. They don't know, but as long as we still in the ballpark because we ain't moved forward with a lot of the information. Mention you will focus on the areas of the assessment that allow them to identify the superpower. It's obvious. It's this high I. D would be second. This is the problematic area, though, that S. But we know this I. So that's a superpower, explaining that to them. Then it's like, okay, in that beginning of that established call, getting that information, what did you notice? You did hit him with that. He said, yeah, I see I'm a high I. Boom. That was your opening for, which is still out of order. Well, it's not. I'll take you back. Well, I'm sorry. It is out of order. But if he asked the question, you might want to give it to him. Okay? Because he asked you, what does that mean? And you hit with, that's his natural. The natural don't come up until
5 or 6.
It's 6, right? But he asked because that's what you took him to. Okay, but if we follow on the chart in smoothness, once we hit on number 2, explaining it to him, we took him to page 3. Now we give him the background. Dr. William Marston. Boom, first page. We're going down the road. Dr. William Marston, behavior dimensionist. He began doing his research in 1928. You got to get him the long and the short. You got to get him the short of it. He's a high I. He did it in 1928. There's a movie out about him. He came up with the character Wonder Woman, and he did the polygraph machine. So this dude was very much about people and their behaviors and how they do things, and he came up with these 4 dimensions, and that's what I'm going to take you through. This shows your preferences, not who you are. These are your preferences, your behaviors and tendencies. Don't try not to get that mixed up and say, man, you this type of person and you didn't know. These are the behaviors that you display. Keep on going. We see where these are your superpowers. You use your eye. Now we in 4. You didn't go all the way through and explain that. That's on page 5 that it takes you to. It sounds like you did. You explain how you tend to make approach problems. I don't even think you hit the interaction, and then you had me take you back up to your chart, his chart. You looked at the S and the C. You went down through there a little bit, and then you hit on the preferences, and then you was out. And I was like, okay. And then you took him back to, what words. Yeah, you had jumped and did that already. Like, these are the words. These are where you at. And so you went out of order. You were supposed to hit him with the D, the problems, the 4 Ps, people, problem, paces, and procedures. Then hit him with, this is how you tend to approach problems. That's the D. You aggressive. Hey, good morning, Rochelle.
Morning.
Yeah, so you hit him with that. You hit him with the D. You hit him with the I, explaining it. Hit him with the S. You need to utilize your like mine. I use when I use it, I use Marvel. I use Iron Man, Thor. You need to establish that. Mm-hmm. What are you using? But it's cool for now. Okay, this is the S. The S is 2 parts because it has to do with environment and pace. Correct? And then this is how you follow the rules. You hit him with that. Oh, you bend the rules a little bit. Yeah, I do. So name me a situation when you do bend the rules. But see, you did that, but we trying to make a focus because we in and out in 30 minutes. No more than 45. So whichever one you was going to focus on is the one you focus on. You mentioned this I was 99 and it dropped to 91. And you said, well, that's not that much of a problem. Anytime the person drops 10 or more, it can be problematic because they're not being their authentic self. Mm-hmm. They're not being, something's causing it. Mm-hmm. Now, you could applaud him for there or say, that was kind of cool. That's not that problem. That's not the real problematic area. But this one is. And that's what you want to be. It says you look for those gaps. Find the biggest gaps. That's your selling point. That's where you can, try to raise their awareness to. He knows when he does this, the I. Mm-hmm. This is where he's missing. So now we go back to you explaining this to him. Now I'm back to coaching it. You explain all these different things. Boom. You explain the D. The way they interact, how it may look, the preferences, they can be aggressive. It may look very mean and direct. Boom. Do you know anybody like that in your life? Joe probably would have told you a story of the woman that is just between him and her. So do you recognize anybody that's like that, who's demanding and driving and forceful? He says, yeah, okay, you got him on the page of recognizing behaviors in people. Okay, and not seeing them as mean. You just taught him. Now we hit this I. Now this is you, or how you tend to react. This is all how. That's what you explaining to him. It's not in here, but this is right there. It's the how. So you hit him with that, gregarious, and he even said it. That's my energy level. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, good. You know yourself. Some more applause. Then you hit him with that S. Okay, this is how you tend to pace things in your environment. This is how you interact in home, work, or recreation. That's why it's 2 parts. But you move, the second of that is that you move to your own drum. You move yourself real methodic. Not slow, but methodic. Mm-hmm. Once we explain that to him, which that actually moves us into 5, where we're reviewing the Iron Man, the Thor, the Incredible Hulk, and the Captain America, which that would be mine. Now you want to explain to him, and this is that key moment you take him back because we visually moving. So now we taking him back up to explaining the natural and adaptive.
Okay.
Because at some point, unless he asks, if he says, well, what's this gray? You got to explain it. Okay, everything, and I'll usually go, everything in colors is the natural. Everything in the gray is your adaptive. And this is what it says about your natural and your adaptive. You explain that. You keep going down. You show them which superpower they prefer. That's his eye. You see it in there? You go back to that. This is the one you're using all the time. Here are recommend, and then there's some more questions. Some more recommended ones. Do they notice how they use these powers daily? Do you see yourself doing that? Once you've given them the understanding of the S, how they super supportive, the I, how they like being in the room, energetic, boom, 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 talking, directing, leader, all those things. The D, making decisions real quick. The S, which goes back to 5, that you done reviewed all of these, explaining this to them. Now, do you recognize when you do this? Do you recognize that sometimes you're a very supportive person, yada, yada, yada? That work. Now we get back to, where is it? Okay, revealing the gap. Now this is we know who you are. Now here go the gap. That's what we finna speak to. You notice the gap. This is what we bringing them to. After you explain, going back a little bit, after you have explained each one of these, who they are, or how they prefer to react, their tendencies, my Captain America, Iron Man, between that spectrum. Now, do you know when you do this? Can you tell when they are adapting up and down? Can you tell when you're adapting up and down? Do you recognize the emotions? What causes you to be so supportive and then for it to drop off? That's where we really can see it. Do you recognize when you a D and you're making decisions? What causes you to not make a quick decision no more? What causes you to stop being an I and have all this, emotion and bringing it? What circumstances or situations do you remember? And they'll probably start, as they thinking, they're like, oh yeah, I did do that. It was all going good then, such and such. But you are a decent supportive person. So now you reveal the gap, draw a connection to how the gap in their largest change in behavior between natural and adaptive. This is the largest change. This is their superpower of preference, but this is where they getting the stress at. So this is what we're supposed to be tackling. You done reveal the gap. Now you take them to conducting the word play, which is number 8. And that's when we like, hey, and in between, okay, so this is how you tend to pace things in the environment. This is the high S. That's when you hit them with between patience and spontaneous. Can you tell me a word that stands out?
So I should ask them first before I actually say.
Yeah, you had told him. See, I think it in there, even with that, when you explain, yeah, you persuasive, gregarious, it was like, nah, she shouldn't have told him that yet.
Okay.
But he might would have got that understanding following the chart when we go through when we go to the D, the I, the S, and C, giving them that general explanation of it, the long and the short of it. But this 8 is the problematic area. This is the word chart. What word in here describes you or stands out the most? However you want to try to figure out wording. And they may say, I don't know. He may say, usually that word gonna pick out. And then sometimes the person don't want to use that word because they're afraid. Because they like, nobody want to be passive until we get the understanding of the word.
Right.
And then they say, oh, okay, I guess I do that. That's cool. That's an aha moment. Do you know any other times when you've done that? Yeah, I do. Okay. We're trying to lead them into self-awareness. That's the shepherding part. So once we went through this, the chart, And there's a lot more in there. That's where you're almost going into the deep dive to pull them over into, wouldn't you like to continue this out? But anyway, as soon as they pick their word, they pick it. If you don't remember it, where they numbers are, you take them back 5317. So then that's where you show them.
Okay.
And you start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. You are very steady when it comes to supporting people. You are a steady, consistent, outgoing person. And depending on whatever word they pick, hopefully they hit it. If they hit it somewhere in the ballpark, man, you know yourself pretty well. That's kind of good. That's what stood out. That's fantastic. Why are you always consistent? Why is that important to you to be steady, consistent, outgoing? They giving you some more rhetoric, some more understanding. That's good. But listen, you drop down to 17. You get chaotic, active, spontaneous. You moving super, super fast. When you usually a steady person, what causes that? Can you think of a scenario that causes you to do that? You know what I'm saying? Is it in the grocery store? And then that's when you sit back and let them tell you. And you taking more notes. You getting that information. Because you want them to be aware when they're doing it and slow themselves down and stay steady. Stay consistent. You know what I'm saying? Not fall into that gap. When they're aware of it, just from that, of them seeing themselves, we actually move into the closing right there. What is your biggest aha moment? They tell you again. It was, from the information, do you know somebody who acts like a D? Do you understand the DIS to C? Do you see the natural? Do you see the area that may cause stress in you? Because we looked at the S, that's a problematic area because you're not being you. And everybody wants to be 100 as best as they can, but you can't be 100 if you don't know yourself. Right. So those are the leading questions in. Then you're like, well, okay, well, how would you like to go forward with this? With the goals and the things that you said, I would love to coach you. I see I can help you stay consistent. I can coach you. You want to shoot better with your right hand? That's what I'm there for. I'm going to help you shoot better with your right hand. I'm going to stay consistently on you to keep you aware of yourself. Also have some other exercises. But how do you want to do this? Leave them to themselves. A high I, high D's, when they see the value and you bring that aha moment to them, they more easily are amped to jump on it and say, yeah, let's go. This is what I want. A S and a C may take a little bit of time. They may have to think about it. But we know who we're dealing with. So you lay down the foundation, the work that they need in order to obtain your services. You want them to obtain your services. You want to help them. And usually when you do it right, you will know it because they still talking. They want to keep talking. And it's like, well, look, we pressed for time. Let's schedule something next week. Let's schedule something. And it is best that you secure the bag as far as, because if that person, when they pay, they're more amped to have to follow through with that commitment. I made that mistake. I'm thinking about a client right now. They were on board the first time I talked to them. They're like, man, I'll pay you right now. I was like, well, wait till I talk to your wife and let's go with it. Me not wanting to necessarily take advantage of them. That's what I was thinking I was doing, but that's a hindrance. And I'm thinking about him now when I got on the call with y'all, like this dude was ready to drop me $1,000 right there off the bat and say, let's go. He had the money and he jumped to it. Now his wife might would have got pissed, but she would have made him commit to it. Cause like, okay, since you didn't pay the money, we finna do it. They hadn't paid no money. There was no need for them to make the commitment as far as sitting down and continuing the consultation and getting her more understanding and then helping them basically had their connection. He was from Connecticut and I met him through Lonzy. It was already a done deal. And I'm just thinking about it as I was talking to y'all, like, okay, and that was part of the lesson after we go through this. It's like, no, you want to secure that. It's not necessarily being shrewd, but you can get the money back. You know what I'm saying? But securing it is on their mind. I made this commitment. They already seen the help and the benefit. What would make them renege? What would make them pull it back? The indecisiveness, the already inconsistencies in their lives that you're trying to tell them, I can help you move forward and get out of. You're the expert. But yeah, I give your money back if that's what you want to do. That also still sets up a report. I went to them, boom. I'm saying go ahead and secure it. Take the opportunity. If they're willing to give it to you, go ahead and take it. Don't say no. That's your blessing. Now, if they say they want it back because they can't follow through, then that's up to you. You secured me. You need to possibly write up a clause. You gave me X amount of dollars. I will maybe give you half back because you used up my time.
Yeah.
Get paid for your time. Because you went through the presentation. They was like, this is good. Let's go. Where's your reward? Eventually, we finna move away from just practicing.
Right.
And that's the part of you being the business person that you have to, you got to take that in mind, you know, because if you go to certain places, they be like, man, okay, it may take you 30 days to get your money back. You know what I'm saying? Or you won't get it all back because it's in the clauses. It's in those things. You run a business and you are the expert. So they have to see that. And it's all right if you take your time as far as how you reading off your assessment. Again, Ebony, you did real good until you recognize yourself that you fell off of it. And the thing is, he wouldn't have known if you had kept going or picked yourself up in there. Or another good rebuttal is to say to the person, do you have any questions? Ask them, do they got some questions? Your paper, or like I said, is online. You can pull it up. You ain't sharing the screen. It can be right in front of you while you're talking. And so you can be looking through like, oh, okay, I see where I missed. You got any questions? Yeah, this one part where I'm glad you asked that. Let me show you why. What's the gray part? What's the red part? You follow what I'm saying? And that's another way, especially you dealing with that high eye. That's applaud. You real observant. I'm glad you did that. I'm glad you took attention to that. At any time you feel I'm moving too fast, please stop me. Ask questions, but also do that because they can just be listening to you and have some thoughts, but not necessarily saying. So you want to check in with them. Okay. But that's more so the high S's and the high C's. They got thoughts and ain't gonna say nothing. That high I gonna ask you some stuff. They may interrupt you. So you gotta learn. You'll learn that as the more you deal with them, as well as the more you study the chart, study that paperwork that I gave you. They're really gonna teach you in real time how it happens, what you're seeing. Because seeing it on paper is one thing. When you actually see it, it's gonna be like, whoa. The first time I dealt with somebody like that, I was like, they made it so easy though. It was so easy because I didn't have to pull questions. I didn't have to think about it. They was right there, boom, boom. That high S, especially the high C, they calculated. They trying to figure out how much do they tell you, how far do they go. But when you start asking the open-ended what questions, not how, not why, what causes this? What happened to you at some point in time in your life that caused you to be more cautious? Can you pinpoint that time? What time was that in your life that this happened? Boom, they'll tell you. They'll tell you. They'll tell you. Any question?
No. You answered everything.
Okay. Joe, is you next week.
Yes, sir.
You gotta redeem yourself. But yeah, the more we go, the more y'all will see, and get more acquainted. Did everybody get? I should have sent y'all an email with Let me make sure everybody got it. Y'all see my screen? Do y'all see this where it says D style, I style? Did everybody get that?
Yeah.
Okay. That's the leadership stuff. That's how you recognize okay, you probably can't see that one. Let me go back. Oh, let me go way back. Okay. Everybody can see that?
Yep.
These are some areas as far as, you don't necessarily have to show them this, but this is some stuff for food for thought for you to know how each person can be a leader with their type of style, to utilize that ability that they have to effectively lead people. This is how the D does it. They very authoritative, use of power, distant, by fear. People are usually afraid and want to talk to them, things like that. Looks for results, but this is sometimes how they can use the power if they're not aware of the power. It's in authoritative manner. They're the expert. Everything goes through me. But that's just their style. Some people gonna follow it, some people not. That okay. They don't, then they the ones that don't work there. Some people are comfortable with that. Sometimes our S and the C are sometimes okay with that, because like if you going the way we want to go, I ain't got a problem with you. Especially a S, because if it's a supportive, they can be like, okay, no, they didn't mean that way, anyway, but they get the job done. That leader's type style looks for results. It ain't about your feelings and what you did last quarter. Are you giving me consistent results? May see people simply as another resource. These are things that they need to be aware of as far as how they're leading, and you bring this to their attention, because that I, S, and the C is in a room feeling a certain way, and they may not. This is to give you some understanding. Motivators, being in charge, change and crisis management, making tough decisions, clear, attainable goals. They want to win. They want to move fast. They want to get there. Can possibly be looked at as a multitasker. Fast pace, which that multitasking is going to cause some problems in the area because they're going to miss things. Just because they're multitasker doesn't mean they're detail orientated. You get what I'm saying?
Good
Fast.
question. When did you send this?
It should have been sent last week.
I don't have it.
Okay, I'll make sure y'all get it. Joe, did you get it, Joe?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. Okay, I sent it all in a group email. Yeah, I'll resend them back out.
I don't got it either.
But Joe, you got it?
I got it on Telegram. That's how I got it.
Yeah, that's another thing. Is everybody on Telegram?
I forget to check that.
Yeah, because it's all in there. That's where I'll drop some nuggets, drop some lessons, drop some videos. I'll do it that way, as well as email it to you. Always check your Telegram. Rochelle, you're not on Telegram yet. Set up an account. And I'll add you to it. Darrell, you're not on there either. Because I got a CTC group on there, coaching the coaches. And so any of this type of stuff is right on there. You can always pull it off. You can always print it off. But I also try to send it as an email. So I'll resend it back out as an email. I could have swore.
All right, I'll do mine today.
Yeah, please, everybody do that. So, because that's also where I'm going to put the link at as far as the Zoom, because, it's gonna stay the same. So you can always just pop in on it, like Rochelle. Well, I did send out the email, but I may not send out the emails anymore as far as we have in session because it's in y'all catalog, as well as I'm gonna put it on Telegram. So, because every time you connected on Zoom, it should be a list of every meeting.
Yeah.
I can't hear you, Rochelle. I think you're muted. Or is your
Can you hear me now?
yeah.
Is it called Telegram Messenger?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It's real simple to set it up. Um, and once you set it up, I can add you to the because I just tried to check it today, and only Ebony and Joe is in there. So stuff like this is what I'll pass, books, any other information, stuff like that. So instead of going over it, because we kind of pressed for time, but I will send it out to y'all today, as well as the
I got it now.
you got it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can print them out, send them to yourself as an email, whatever you need to do, boom. Yeah, that'd be easier. If y'all go on Telegram, set up your Telegram profile. I'll pull you in there because it's gonna send me a chime and say such and such is joined. Then I'll put you in the group. Boom, you can grab the information that's in there. Any other questions?
Session today.
It was. I appreciate y'all, man. Is there? Oh, that's another thing I want to ask y'all. Some of the people, I mean, just to let y'all know that some of the people that you asked me to send the DISC assessment to, they did not show up. They did not take it. Well, at least not everyone, but one particular person did, and I could not remember who asked for this person. Give me 1 second, I'll tell you.
Was it Brittany?
Yes.
She told me she did it, and I forgot. I had been meaning to text you and ask you if you got it or what.
I do got it. I'll forward it over to you.
Okay.
Cause I was like, okay, whose is this? And it was no name. Yeah. Okay, I sent it over to you now. Joe, your people didn't respond, and they haven't taken it yet. And
I think you sent me the results for his.
but I thought it was more. Was it only one person or was it two?
I only sent one.
Okay, they respond. You got the results.
Yeah.
Darrell, your people haven't done theirs.
All right.
Yeah, they haven't responded to me.
Yeah, I had talked to her about it. She said she was gonna do it today, but I don't know.
Jocelyn?
She hasn't done it. I sent the email to both of them.
I'll call her.
I sent it to both. Okay, yeah, I see you on here, Rochelle. Yay, I'm finna add you. To the power coaches so you can get that. Okay, you're in the group, Rochelle.
Okay.
So you should be able to see those styles and pull them and grab them as you need.
Got
it. So yeah. What's up, Darrell? Darrell, you raised your hand.
I didn't mean to do that. It's in my pocket. I'm
That's why I
getting
was
the stuff
like,
out the car.
oh, that's why I was like, what?
But no, I said them people that was supposed to do their assessment. I talked to her. She said she was gonna do it today.
Okay.
No.
Soon as she, that's cool. So as soon as she do it, boom, I lock you in.
All right.
I mean, I'll send it to you.
Right. All right.
Joe, have you been able to talk to your person? Did you run it? Did you walk them through it?
I didn't get a chance to. Because I did talk to him this week though. I did talk to him this week about it, but he didn't really. He didn't, because he said I'm gonna give you a call whenever I get a chance. But he ain't never, given me a call. So I just got to reach back out to him or something.
Absolutely. That's the other thing. We have to learn to do is to be more consistent in pursuing whomever it is. Give them 24 hours. They don't call us. Especially once you've looked at the assessment.
Yeah,
So
I already
the type of person that you're dealing with, then you need to make those inquiries in order to sit them down, because it's not just for you trying to. You may not be trying to secure them as a client. It's also so you can get the reps and record it. So that's the assignment. Once you speak to your person, record it on Zoom. Because if you don't have an account, you got an hour with any person you can sit with. Long as it's is one-on-one. And it's free for that amount.
Okay.
So you can sit with them for that hour and record it so we can review it. You can look at it yourself. We can see what, you know what I'm saying? So you can get your pointers, take your notes, the whole nine. And those are good exercises for the whole class, to go through them. I'm thinking about possibly recording some of mine, but I got to get permission from the client, but asking that client, this is for training purposes, and go ahead and record it. Or just for your own references, you know what I'm saying, for you to go through it. But what can sometimes happen, that person may not be as authentic because they know it might be watched. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to have to learn, which is good, to keep them ease and themselves the whole time and be revealing and open up. You know what I'm saying? But either way, you'll know what you did wrong and you'll know what to get better at if they say, I want to keep going with this. And even though if they say no don't mean you did it wrong. They might be thinking about it, so you just got to hit them up later. The script talks about 24 hours later, 72 hours later, maybe a week later. Hey, just shooting you a quick text, just seeing how you doing. Keep on going. A young lady I spoke to last week, I think I told y'all, we was all engaged in it. It was going well. Boom, boom, boom. She was like, nah, I really ain't at this time. I said, what if I call you back in 24 hours? She was like, I ain't gonna have the money in 24 hours. It ain't about, I can't pay that amount. I can't pay you the $500 a month. I said, okay, but I'll still keep, in contact with you as you need it. It wasn't a week later. It was like a few days later. I need you now. Can we work out something? She helped me come up with a whole new payment arrangement. I'm like, yeah, okay. What you want to do? Can I pay you the $125? If that's $125 a week for being in the session, can I pay the $125 every time we meet? I said, okay, how many times you want to meet? Oh, I can only do the one right now. I said, maybe you can do two. Well, I don't know my money. I'm doing I said, if you set the goal and this is what you want and this is what you need, you'll find the money. Because I'm trying to help her raise her prices on doing hair. I'm like, you cheating yourself. Well, it's hard if I ask them in the pandemic. I said, please, people still buying Gucci and Prada and Chanel. And you trying to tell me they don't want their hair and nails done with that Prada and that bag? No, that you make yourself exclusive. You trying to eat as well. This is your business. And I ain't saying be ridiculous. I was just encouraging her to go after what you worth, because it's already a reflection of how she feels about herself from her assessment and her values. She will charge based on what she thinks about her. You think you ain't worth it? You don't think your goals is that important? Nobody will pay for that? That's what you will charge people. Giving people $1,000 hairdos for only $25. I was like, that's a problem. Especially if you want to be financially free, you want house, car, home, just the normal stuff that everybody should have. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. I ain't got no example. If I had 2 cups, there's the only difference in the 2 cups is that this one may be fancy and this one plain. But guess what they both do? They both let you drink out of them. That's what their purpose is. But the one that's fancy, somebody paid $50 for. For the one that's a regular plain Jane, they paid $1 for. Do the same thing. So if you not getting what you deserve, it's because you think you a plain cup and ain't nobody, all they gonna pay is $1 for this. There's somebody paying $100 for that custom made cup. I just had one made. It got established on it. 7/3/2001, me and my wife got married. I paid $10 for this glass. It's a wine glass. The woman told us, oh, I only paid $1 for it. I was like, what? Damn. But it was her work. It was her craftsmanship that she put on it. And when she said she charged me $10, I was like, hey, let me send you an assessment. You need some help. You're not charging what you're supposed to be charging. Because I'm telling her, hey, I just told my wife, like, I'm going to use her for some of my merchandising and cups and custom things. Like, I'm going to get power coaches on it and that whole 9 and get the colors. She does the whole thing. I wish I could show it to you. I'm going to show it to you next week. And I'm like, no. I'll drop it in Telegram. I'll drop a picture. I'm like, you made this for only $10? I already done lined up some dudes in my frat that they going to pay $20 for these cups. And my other brother was like, man, you could get away with 25, maybe 30. I said, say no more. I'll charge $30. She buying them for $1. I'm buying them from $10 from her. I'm going to sell these boys for $35. These is custom made cups for our frat. This your wine glass, liquor glass, whatever you want to do with it. Boom. Beautiful, glitter, green and gold. And it got etched on it, the frat, and on the inside is a crescent. When you drinking, you like on Rochelle, I did one for Shantae. It's green on the inside. When he drinking, he sees eagles. It's eagles all in the bottom of it, all circled around him. All I paid was $10 for it. I was like, this woman is crazy. Okay, you selling them on a low? Thank you. But I'm going to tell you later on, this is what you're you hear what I'm saying? It's still a cup.
Right.
It's still a cup. The glass itself was $1. She said I buy it from the dollar store.
Yeah.
Which one you gonna be? You gonna be a $1 cup or you gonna be a $50 cup?
50.
Thank you. Get what you deserve. They out there. Somebody paying for it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to help everybody, but okay, some people can't afford it. But
Right.
it's very strange to me. I've seen people not want to pay for the personal development to put them in a better position in their life, a better mindset, bring peace, but they will pay $250 for a pair of Jordans.
Or purse.
Or purse, or the pants. You have to exclusively, that's why I asked y'all last week, make sure you the expert and be exclusive. This is what I charge because I get results. Well, what's your proof that you get results? I'm still alive. And I've governed my life and I've helped others. I've done this. Think about the people you didn't talk to years ago, decades ago, last week. That, man, that was some great advice. Hold on. Say that into the camera. That's a testimony. You better get it. Yeah, we out here. I just helped my boy. I told him some stuff to do last week. He did it, man. It was the truth. It came through. You're an expert in that area now. Somebody, now you solved the problem. They gonna come to you. Hey, this man, can you help me with? I got this problem. Can you help me with it? My mentor, Sean Hart, he has the Involved Dad. Some of y'all might know him, and he's discussing things about that. That's his lane. That's what he solves the problem, and it's opened up so many different avenues for him. Well, that's Involved Dad. And so he was at an event that you know, they asked him to come be a speaker. They know this is his platform, but the person who inquired for more services from him said, hey, I love the way you was doing what you was doing, but I have some lunch ladies. Can you come talk to a group of lunch ladies? We have about 25, what you charge, boom, we worked out the price. They gave him $2,500 to go speak to some lunch ladies. His lane is speaking to dads and how dads should be more involved in their families' lives. So women can come sit. Lunch lady was like, oh, I need you to come speak to these lunch ladies. Lunch ladies, people, lunch ladies. I didn't know they needed motivation. They paid him to come talk to them. I was like, what? They up there, what? I was like, how did it look? Was they in their hairnets, sitting there like, yeah, with their spatulas, like, go ahead. That's what I'm talking about. I don't know. I was like, dude, I'm silly. I'm sorry. But I was like, hey, there's an audience out of you when you cater to what problem you solve. I said that last week. Narrow down your posts. We're going to get more into, once we get more comfortable with this, as some assignments, I'm going to slide them through on the Telegram. We need to come up with a mission statement. I'm going to show you mine based on the disc and the values, and I want you to come up with one based on what you service, based on your the idea, the thing that you want to fix. Rochelle, you talked about this business and pleasure. I bring this to people, the catering, you mixing that, and this is part of that service that you bring this. It's like, I don't just bring you a meal. I bring you some value. I bring you some understanding. I change your mind about how you eat and think and go. You muted. I couldn't hear you. You muted. Unmute yourself.
I was like, can you say that again? Let me record that one more time.
It is recording. I still got to record it, so I'm gonna send it to everybody. But Ebony, you talk about the struggle, the young mom, those things, the encouragement to those young ladies that been through some of the things you've been through, and look where you are now. Man, that's your whole book. That's your whole story. That's what I'm helping young ladies who think it's over because they didn't have a child at this age.
So
or that age.
I was watching your boy. So finding your niche basically is what, and I'm like, I didn't want to stick to just one thing, but I guess like you said, when you flourish in that one thing, then it'll go to the other.
Exactly. It'll open it up. I mean, think about it. Allstate sells, what is Allstate known for selling? Car insurance. But when I worked for Allstate, I sold homeowners insurance, renters insurance. They had life insurance policies. You can invest through them. But their main thing was auto. Come to Allstate, you're in good hands. Once you walk through the door, you can see my display. Verizon don't just sell phone. They now sell cable. They sell family plans. You can buy the casings in there. They got, they got all that. It's other stuff that they have. But their main thing is their phone service. They don't make no phones, but they have a variety of phones. They are a service industry that makes sure you have, you're connected to the internet and be able to connect and make the phone calls. That's what they sell you. And what's so killer about Allstate, bring this back just to help you. Listen, Allstate, what they sell you, the only thing you walk out of that office with is this.
A bill.
Some paper. Your policy, what it stands for, what is on it, and you done paid top dollar. I'm trying to feed your soul and change your mind. And you don't want to pay me top dollar? Okay. I won't see you in the struggle because I'm not going to be struggling no more. You change your life, and people, sometimes it take them a minute. Don't worry about it. They don't want to get on the wagon right now. Okay, you missed the boat. You didn't get with me when I was charging 500. I see you when I'm charging 1,500. Oh, you still don't want to talk? Okay, the price didn't change because now I'm getting bigger, demanding. Now I'm in my 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s. Then they're like, hey man, can you? I got a friend now. They be calling him like, this dude done received $7,000 for a coaching session for 1 month. And other people calling him, I see what you're doing. I see how you posting. I see everything that's got going on. Then they try to prime him for information. And he like, nah, bro. I was right next to him. We driving. He on the phone. Nah, that cost. Hey, I got these modules. I got this class. You can buy it. It's $4.95, blah, blah, blah. Well, okay, that's cool, man, for real. But hey, what about when you do such and such? When you go to purchase the home, can you? Bruh, it's $4.95. I was like, get them. Because people will rob you for your expertise, Ebony and Rochelle. They will ask you for a recipe, how you do such and such. I can show you. And it's gonna cost you. They not finna walk into KFC and ask them for the secret recipe. Hey, how y'all do that chicken? They're gonna be like, well, you can taste it. We got a combo meal. We got original recipe. No, you in the business. You're trying to you help people, and you have vital information that can change somebody's life because it's changing yours. You fill yourself up, Joe, with information and knowledge. The way you say it and the way you give it away, it's valuable. Because you ain't going to give it the way I'm giving it. So your audience, the who you speaking to, the specific thing, the niche that you want to try to help, that's who you talking to. And they'll show up. They will show up. Just being general won't get you the likes and the service or the inquiries for how much you charge. Just being general, putting stuff out there. Be specific. You narrow your audience down, watch how many. Eminem or any other artist out there does not sell to the masses. They sell to a specific people who love his music, who love what he's saying, love his delivery. There is 300 million plus people on the planet, I believe, something like that. Eminem only sold 10 million copies. That ain't the world. 10 million out of 300, it's some people don't like that dude. But the people who love him, that's his people. That's his clan. Them the people that's catering to him. So find your niche, recognize it. Some of y'all already kind of have it. Darrell, he done pointed out his with the royal minds and the things like that. We just got to expound a little bit more. Ebony, yours is right out there with the service of the children. You can be in the school speaking to people, young girls, even young boys, even young mothers, parents who were teens and suffer from things and don't want to put these ideas on their daughters. I know a woman you could help right now. She holding her daughter tight, and it's like you're going to make her bust out and do whatever she want to do because you're so afraid she going to be a young teen mother. That's your lane. That's your lane. Rochelle with the cooking, the business, the pleasure, grow it, have it all. Come on. It ain't just to the cooking. It's just to somebody who trying to start a business in another area and they want their husband on board. Boom. That's what you hit them with. This is how we did it. You have, how long y'all been in business?
Cooking?
Mm-hmm.
Probably 8 to 10 years.
I was just going to say, y'all got 10 years experience on how to do this, the ups, the downs. You can write the book. I got a book for a businessman that says 30 things I learned in my 30 years of business. My trials. This is what you need to know. 30 things I learned in 30 years of being in business. 21, 25 years of being on this planet. This is what I learned. Joe, that's a book. And then people asking you about what did you learn? What about this? What it'll transfer into so many other areas. So many other areas. So stay alert, stay alive. I'm available. I'll be here every day. I'm on point for y'all. Any help, any assistance, All my resources is your resources. Let me know what you need. Once this stops,